Good morning. We're in North Phoenix and we're going to get out of here and head to southwest Arizona, kind of take a circuitous route to Blythe this evening because I'm meeting my brother-in-law in Joshua Tree National Park tomorrow. And if I drive straight there, I would be hanging out in eastern California with not much to do. Let's check out the bug damage. It looks pretty bad, also on the windshield. And check this out. J1772 plug, 3 kilowatt rate. So we're not even going to leave with 90% state of charge. This is what I mean. We could be in Blythe in 2.5 hours at our hotel. So what we're going to do is add some stops at Yuma. We're going to go down, cut across country on I-8, and then it wants us to charge, obviously. Let's also go to a supercharger stop nearby in Scottsdale, which is actually in the wrong direction, but we will have plenty of time. So let's go. I almost forgot to zero out the trip counter. Reset daily stats. And then we need to change the color of the car. Since we're going to the southwest, we're going to make it a very pale yellow. Desert out there. Maybe. No, I like the map better. Alright, now we're ready to go. I forgot to point it out, but that little slow charger at the hotel last night had gotten us up to 77% state of charge, but driving all the way back to Scottsdale, which took half an hour, and the car preconditioning the battery for fast charging, which you didn't really need to do because we're not going to charge much. We lost 8% of charge. And this is yet another urban supercharger install. They're so cute. I'm curious with such a high state of charge if it'll get up to its fully rated 72 kilowatt rate. Let's see. I should also mention there's another install across the main road that I'm also going to hit. So we really don't need any power. Look at that. It's in the 60s. It's pushing it 73 kilowatts. And Tesla knows how to handle batteries. All right, it's time to unplug and go to the next door. Another urban supercharger, and this one even has the last one turned sideways, just like a trailer pull-in, even though it's not a pull-in. While we're waiting for that to ramp up, let's go ahead and add a stop. Add stop. I think we're going to do, yep. We're going to do the Aqua Fria Freeway site next. It's pretty close. Let's see if we've got charge. This one's not as fast. We've got charge. Let's go. Third supercharger in like half an hour. Got here with 66%. Just going to get a little bit because the battery's really warm, and then go leave Phoenix. another supercharger at a shopping center, the Buckeye Supercharger west of Phoenix. We got here with 50% and a lot of traffic, and we are heading on to the Gila Bend Supercharger in southwest Arizona. If we leave right now, it looks like we'll get there with 35%, so we don't need to charge a lot. So let's just plug in and then unplug. Here we are at Gila Bend, and half of the superchargers are the normal back end and half are pull in. So I thought I'd pull in since there are no trailers waiting. And I've gone ahead and put in the Yuma Supercharger, which is 110 miles away, and we cannot make with our current 34% state of charge. So we are going to have to charge here about 20 minutes. Give me a chance to stretch my legs and eat a little snack. So we got here with 35% state of charge or less, and I'm just so used to it charging fast when it preconditions the battery and the state of charge is low. I didn't even notice what it started out at, but I've noticed after 10 or 15 minutes it's only pulling 60 kilowatts. So I don't know if it's because the handle's in the sun and it's overheating. I could switch stalls, but I think I'm just gonna let it continue. Today's a lazy day. Well, while we charge slow here in the hot southwestern Arizona sun, actually it's very cool in here. The air conditioner's working well. Thought I'd let you know what I'm up to. I'm taking the long way around to get from Phoenix to Blythe because I'm supposed to meet my brother-in-law tomorrow in Joshua Tree National Park, and the only other option to stay close to the park is the Palm Springs area, where the hotels are double to triple what they are in Blythe, which is just a roadside stop town, just over the border into California from Arizona. So I'm going down southwest to Yuma, where I'm going to visit the Colorado River State Historic Park. A little bit of Old West history there. And then up by the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge, where there's apparently a little valley with California palms. It's the easternmost stand of those California palms. It's down a 7-mile dirt road and a short little uphill hike. And then I should get into Blythe around supper time again and be ready for the weekend. So that's the plan this afternoon. So here we are at the Yuma Supercharger. Pretty standard installation, except One of them, a couple of stalls down, somebody backed into. So I'm not going to try yet. We got here with 16% state of charge left, which is what it predicted we would get here with at the time we left the last supercharger. Of course, we ran into really bad high crosswinds on the way over, and the estimate dropped to 12% for a long time, but then we had to go slow over Telegraph Pass and lost elevation coming down into Yuma, so we're back at 16%. Not bad. After this, I'm going to grab lunch and go to the State Historic Park. So, it's a pretty neat town. Obviously, the railroad is pretty big here. Saw a lot of trains still running. Historic markers. There's a locomotive over here. Glad I took this way. So this is cool. Parked right behind the locomotive is a view of the Colorado River. Let's check it out. Some kind of fountain for the storm drain. There it is, the mighty Colorado carved the Grand Canyon. On the other side, California. Well, this is convenient. The supercharger is right over there, so after I ran a couple of blocks into town to get lunch, we're right here at the Colorado River State Historic Park. This is not a bad way to kill an hour. It's actually pleasant out here. And this is basically a bunch of old buildings from the late 1800s, early 1900s with exhibits in them. And reminds me a lot of that part of most places state fairs that have the past things in them, like wagon and the Pullman car, little motor-powered maintenance car for railroads. Pretty neat. Never thought about it before, but it makes perfect sense. There were steamboats on the Colorado River at one time. That was kind of interesting for a history geek like me, but I didn't want to record every little bit because a lot of it is pretty standard museum exhibits. But there's a lot of gems in the rough there. Glad I did it. And I highly recommend it if you're a history geek or interested in the American Southwest, especially the from the Civil War to the 1940s period, which is when this place was most active. But now I'm going to head on up to Quartzsite and toward our destination for the evening in Blythe. Okay, here we are in Yuma. We're going to go up US 95, the highway, not the interstate. We're going to try and stop in Palm Canyon, depending on how good a condition that dirt road is in, and then on up to Quartzsite to charge before heading over to Blythe for the evening. Let's go. Quite a lot of washboarding on the road, wasn't it, back there? I think we've got another mile of it at least. Let's come over here and look at something that came up on the map as the Spiral Labyrinth. It's not a natural formation. It looks very man-made, although I'm not sure why. Someone put it out here, but it's kind of cool. Some cacti in the background, and those pretty awesome mountains. I think that's the Kofa Mountains, or part of them. All right, well, let's head on back. Well, here we are. Just talking to the guy taking pictures. He said it's only about half a mile in, not much further than you can see. So we're gonna do it. I hope we don't run into any rattlesnakes. So the trail continues on another quarter mile, but it's getting late and I'm the last one out here. So I think I'm gonna not go up there and just say this was a great experience. I don't even know what a California palm looks like. There could be some over there. Sign about another quarter mile back said they were along the stream bed here. So I have to look one up when we get back and see if I see any in these pictures and videos. But now it's time to head back to the car and on in for the night. Here's the sign that says palms that way. And I don't know exactly what they look like. If anybody recognizes them in the video, please let me know. They're supposed to be on the other side of the stream. I guess I was expecting a palmetto. Perhaps that's not what it looks like. That's a cool view out of the mouth of the valley. Almost looks like a cinder cone and some other volcanic formations. There's our car way down there on the long dirt road, 7 miles to get back to the highway. Yep, it's a little dusty. So here we are at Carl's Jr. at a huge supercharger installation in 2 parking lots, 3 rows. We got here with 20% battery. It was estimating 21. I was worried about going down that dirt road 7 miles each way, and it was fine. And my car was fine until we got back on the nice smooth main road and went by a van, and it kicked up a rock and chipped my windshield. I hope that's okay. No, I'll have to get it fixed. I hope I don't have to replace the whole windshield. Anyway, charging up and then heading over to Blythe. Here we are at the Flying J, I think just over the state line, or maybe just before the state line for California. We stopped with around 70, low 70s% state of charge at Quartzsite, and we had dropped down to 60 kilowatts rate. Now we've moved on to, not even 10 miles. We're back up to 74, but we used a little charge, so get it to about 80 and then call it a day. Just go into the hotel. Although there's a self-serve car wash right before the hotel, maybe I'll try and clean off the car. Even though it's just going to get dirty again. So the first car wash we pulled up to was one of those automatic but self-serve. So I wasn't going to risk that. But then on the way to the hotel, I saw the other one that was supposed to be right beside the first one, but was actually a couple blocks further down. So I just used the wand and the foam brush and gave the car what my mom would call a lick and a promise, at least to get all the dust off. Let's go home or to the hotel. Good night.